How to be a very confident woman leading meetings comes down to one key thing that you can use in every meeting. Stay to the end, and I'll also tell you why a turntable might actually just save the day. So first, subscribe to my channel for weekly videos that are going to help improve your career to no end. And click that bell so that you never miss a video when they drop. I'm Dr. Suzanne Doyle-Morris, founder of Inclusic, and I have coached hundreds of women over the last 15 years, and so many of them have wanted more confidence. Seems simple, right? Well, today I'm actually here to tell you that instead of focusing on your confidence, we need to be better at getting other people to value your competence. That is your skills, your abilities, your qualifications, because that's the only thing that will give you the feeling that you're looking for. And to get there, I'm going to cover one of the best ways to bring that out and reward competence when you're either a leader in a meeting or maybe just taking an active part in that meeting. So for this, I interviewed nearly 40 senior leaders for my latest book, The Con Job. And I've compiled all of the best of their advice with the latest research about how we should be defining confidence so that it works for a wider range of us, not just the status quo of current leaders and the people that they groom in turn for leadership, the mini-me's, who all too often look a lot like them. So if you're anything like me, you'll notice that some people talk a lot at meetings, and we often credit those people with being confident, even if the value that they're adding sometimes does not hit the mark. Equally, we rarely hear from other people, even if you suspect their ideas and their opinions are actually rock solid. So if you're leading a meeting where you want skill to shine much more than bravado, one of my favorite tips is to institute turn taking around the table. Now, this may sound a bit elementary, but hear me out to see what it's actually going to do for your meetings. So, turn taking. This isn't about going around in a circle as much as it is about ensuring you hear from everybody and their opinions. So not assuming people will just speak up if they have something to say. And this is really important because if we assume that introverts and extroverts have roughly the same number of good ideas, which I'm sure you agree with me on, I'm worried hugely about what we're missing if we disproportionately give more of the airspace and that meeting time and certainly promotions to extroverts who are always more willing just to speak up. So if you've been in a meeting that could have benefited from few more voices being heard and less from the extroverts, write meeting hell in the comments below so that I'm not alone on this. So here's the science of why you need to be more directive around turn taking. So research shows that when groups are given explicit directions to take turns equitably, well, it's only then that women speak equally in those meetings to the guys. By comparison, in groups where students were asked to discuss a topic and told that they could structure the feedback sessions more or less for themselves, women made 17% fewer comments and they took 25% fewer turns, which means we're getting fewer voices heard from women in the room. So turn taking actually makes sense, not just for women, but for introverts or those who may not immediately share their thoughts in the free-for-all melee of many meetings. So the researchers said specifically, the guys in these groups were more likely to persist until they'd made their point, whereas the women usually backed off and gave up if their attempts to speak were consistently interrupted. Sounds like me in meetings I've been to, probably you as well. So that work that the researchers did reminded me of how many women I know who lament the game playing and showmanship at meetings because these are things that they really don't have or even want to waste time on. So if you run meetings or even if you just want to make them more productive, asking anyone and everyone in the team for their thoughts is the best way forward. You could give people the first 10 minutes of a meeting to write out their concerns, priorities, and the goals that they've got for the topic you're about to discuss. Just that 10 minutes so they can clear their thoughts, and it gives introverts enough time to make sure that they've prioritized what they want to say. So I know that this is definitely a less cool version of the turntable that you and I have probably enjoyed. but it benefits the careers of so many more people. It helps ensure that you're rewarding competence, not just confidence, because you've heard from everyone, not just the confident extroverts. Getting recognition for your competence is exactly why I wrote The Con Job, because we're only going to maintain the status quo if we keep thinking that the outwardly confident are the ones who should be making all the decisions, as they do in too many organizations. So my mission is to change this and to stand up for the non-status quo. If this sounds like a goal worth fighting for, then click the link below to check out the new book and get involved by following #MoreCompetence on Twitter and Instagram, and help me spread the word to your competent non-status quo colleagues. Like it, share it with your friends and your colleagues too, because I gotta be honest, you will not be the only person feeling this way. And subscribe to my channel so that you're the first to see the rest of these videos in the series as they are released. And in the meantime, go and check out the rest of the series on how to be a very confident professional woman, particularly for those who work in male-dominated fields.